that's really fun how we follow all of them, all three of them, and all of their unique experiences. So let's go watch where the crawdads sing. I'm so excited. Such a cool experience and a beautiful thing to watch one of your favorite books turn into a movie, to see the characters come to life for real. Like, it's something magical about that. So of course they're like, what the fuck, like he's dead. What a great Sunday dinner. How amazing. Yeah, it is around 7 in the evening, Sunday evening. I worked all day and I am now home. I have an exciting sushi dinner in front of me that I'm gonna eat while I watch Back to the Future and maybe some Shameless because I'm obsessed. And then we'll figure out what book I'm picking up because I'm currently not reading anything. So I will figure that out, but first I need some food in my system. And welcome back to a new reading vlog, by the way. Don't think I mentioned that. Okay, it is a while later in the evening. It's pretty early evening, but I'm heading to bed because I started work at 6:45 today and I need to be up early tomorrow again for work, so like I need to go to bed. But I'm planning on moving to the bed and starting my book, and after a lot of thought and consideration in what mood I'm in, I decided I'm gonna pick up the Book of Accidents by Wendig. This has been sitting on my shelves for a while and I have heard a lot of good things about it. On Goodreads you can find just really good reviews, and I decided I was in the mood for a really good thriller slash horror book, and this one seemed like the perfect one. It doesn't feel like it's gonna be one of those like funny comedian ones. It feels like it's gonna be one of those really fucking creepy and eerie horror slash thriller books, which I'm in the mood for. I'm so in the mood for this, and I'm kind of don't have too many thrillers on my TBR, so this was kind of the only book I could find that I was in the mood for, so I'm very, very excited about it. I haven't been wanting to pick it up before because it's kind of intimidating to me because it's so big. It's a really big book, which is scary, but it's okay. It's one of those really floppy paperbacks, which is just like, thank you, heavenly, love it. I cannot function properly while reading like one of those stiff paperbacks. Like I just can't, especially if it's a big thriller or horror book. This is just the perfect one. But yeah, I don't know too much about it. I think we are gonna follow a family that moves back to their hometown, and when they were young something happened there, and now when they're moved back years later something is happening again. Like that's kind of the plot that I know. I don't know too much at all, which I don't want to know before going into it either. So yeah, it really sounds like the perfect book, and I do really enjoy in books when we have like that time jump, when you have someone that you follow like years back and then you have them returning to this town or house or whatever, and things are happening again. I have read quite a few books where we have like that time jump, and I really do enjoy that, and I think it's so freaking good usually. So I'm really excited to start this one. So yeah, I am gonna hop into bed and see how many pages I can read before falling asleep. It is around 4. I just got home from work and I've showered, put on comfy clothes, and I'm ready to read. I did start the Book of Accidents last night. I only got up to page 41, so I have not really gone into it yet. But so far we basically follow, as I've actually said, I think I knew that we follow this family that's about to move into this house. But the backstory of it is not what I didn't know. We have like the father of the family, his dad passed away, and they did not get along at all, like once he was alive. Didn't really have any good contact or anything. So when he made this offer on his deathbed to his son that you can buy my house for $1, and move in there with your family once I die. Son obviously did not want to do that because he's like, why would he offer me this? We haven't spoken in years, we're not getting along, there has to be like a back thought of this. Why would he offer me his big enormous house for just $1? Like what's he thinking about this? Like why is he doing that? It's gotta be something suspicious going on. But his wife and the kid kind of wants to, because the house is in a better neighborhood, it's bigger, you know, for them to start more of a family, and it's closer to like work. So the wife convinced him to like buy it, and after the father's dad dies, they buy the house and they move in. So obviously you kind of suspect that there was something odd about this since they didn't get along, the father of the family with his dad, so like the grandfather of the family, they didn't get along. So it is really suspicious why he would offer the house, like this big, really nice house, for just $1. And as I've said, he was really hesitant about it, but his family convinced him. So I'm thinking there's gonna be something weird about this house, some weird shit is gonna happen, and I'm very excited about it. But yeah, I've only read like 3 chapters, so I can't really say anything about it. I don't really know anything yet. I've just been introduced to his family, and the father just like, or the grandfather just like passed away. So yeah, but I'm enjoying the vibes and I'm hoping to read a lot tonight. I'm off tomorrow, so I'm very excited about it.
I'm not thinking about the way you keep my world from spinning. I'm just thinking about your eyes. Just don't know if I've been faking or pretending, but I know I never felt so damn alive. I don't know if I believe the information given, that there is someone by your side. Coming back inside my body for a second, there is no way that I'm never gonna try. Hello, where you at, where you been? Tell me everything about you, go slow.
Okay, so I got up to page 83 last night, and I'm just about to sit down and read some more. But we have a few spooky things that has been going on so far, and I'm not that into it yet. Like, haven't gone far and we have spooky things go on, which I love because I don't want it to be too slow. I love the fact that we have spooky things going on already, because otherwise it will be boring if you just go and like wait for something to happen. So, you know, we follow the mom, the dad, and the son, and we follow like from each and everyone's perspective. So we follow as the dad is, you know, getting into his new job and meeting friends and new colleagues, and we follow the mom as she's decorating the new house and doing things in the house, and we follow the son who is going into this new school, new classes, new people. So that's really fun how we follow all of them, all 3 of them, and all of their unique experiences, so not only from one perspective, which is great. And there is something connected between things. So, you know, we have the dad of the family, Nathan, I think he's called. So they obviously bought this house that they're now moved into from his father who passed away. And his father used to be like a prison guard or work in a prison where they did death row, like they had death row and they had the electrical chair. So he would witness a lot of executions, you know, and Nathan would ask his father about that sometimes when he was younger, but he never really wanted to talk about it. You know, it's probably traumatic to work in a place like that, I would assume. But there is this famous case of this guy who was on death row and got electrocuted, and Nathan's father was on the job then, like he witnessed this, and it's like a famous case. And story or slash like the rumor that is going around about this man is that when he got killed in the electrical chair, like he disappeared, and that's like a big rumor going around, like that he's haunting them or whatever. And at Nathan's new job, someone is asked him about it, and then you get a flashback of Nathan and his father when he was little, and he asked his dad about it and he didn't want to talk about it. He really avoided the subject about it. So but Nathan, it says to his colleague, like, no, that's bullshit, he died, like my father said so. But in reality he didn't. He just says so to get off the back, like he doesn't want to talk about it anymore. But I don't know if that's going to be connected, but since it's such a big part of the story here, like you have followed that, I feel like it has to have a purpose. So Nathan's father, who is now dead, and this family is now living in that house where he died, used to work as a prison guard, witnessed a lot of horrible things, and then this famous case that the legend says that he disappeared while getting killed. Like, is this gonna be like a haunted house thing, or like something is going on and it's really spooky. Also, you had a scene where the mom is at home. I didn't really know what she was doing. I think she's like an artist of some kind, doing sculptures or painting or whatever, and she had this sculpture in front of her, right? And then it just disappeared and she blacked out, and then she's woken up by a phone call, and it's like minutes or hours has passed. The sculpture is gone, and like she was home alone. Like, so creepy things like that, eerie things like that is already happening, and I'm loving it. Honestly, I think it's weird that they bought the house. I understand a little bit why, because it's in a better district, the better school district, and a better neighborhood, closer to work, bigger house. But Nathan is not really liking it, obviously, which I understand, because he had a shitty relationship with his father, and it's his father's old house. And when the mother of the family, she was like, what bedroom are we gonna have? So like the biggest bedroom would be the parents' bedroom usually, but Nathan is like, no, we cannot be in there, because when he was a kid, it was like forbidden territory. Like his father would be really mean to him about it, like, you cannot go into our bedroom, like it's forbidden. So he's like has trauma from his parents and his grown-up years, or like his kid years, which is so weird. Like, why would you move into the house that you have so many bad memories in, you know? Obviously he did it for his wife and his kid to get a better life, but it's still really eerie, and I don't ever know if he's ever gonna be able to relax in this house because it's so weird to him, which I understand. So yeah, but I'm really enjoying it so far, and I'm excited to read some more tonight. Okay, it is around 9 o'clock in the evening, and I've gotten up to page 157, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. It has all the eerie vibes that I wanted right now for like early fall. So good so far. So we have a few creepy things that are happening. So we have Nathan, the father of the family. One night he wakes up and gets outside his yard, and he sees a man standing there in his yard behind a tree, and first he's like, oh no, it's just a deer, but turns out it's a human being, and he's like, hi, hello, and he runs off. And Nathan is also experiencing seeing his dead father, and then in the blink of an eye he's gone. So Nate is definitely experiencing some creepy things. I think he kind of like pulls it off, and he's like, I'm just stressed. But now I feel like he's come to a point where he's like, am I going crazy? But in the beginning, he's just like, it's just a lot of stress right now, you know, new house, new job, new district, everything. But he's starting to think that something is definitely going on that's not right. And while Nate was out there chasing this person in the yard, he runs into his new neighbor. And it's like in the middle of the night, but like he invites him in for a drink, and he's like, yeah, sure, fine, half naked and with his gun. And the neighbor is really nice. Like, he comes off as a nice guy, like a little bit older, lives there alone, and, you know, befriends Nate. But I don't know if there's something going on with him. I feel like you wouldn't be introduced to him if it's not something weird, you know what I mean? I'm hoping he's just this really cute, friendly neighbor as he's portrayed right now, but I'm just feeling that there's something up there as well, unfortunately, and I'm just scared about it. And Nate is not the only one experiencing creepy things. You have Maddie, the mom of the family. As I've said, she's an artist, and she had this other creepy thing happening to her that I mentioned earlier, and she has a new thing. So she was doing a sculpture. She's an artist, so she does sculptures and stuff, and she was carving out something and didn't really have a plan of what it's gonna be. And, you know, she's kind of just like let her mind wander, and all of a sudden there's a sculpture in front of her that's done, and she's like, oh, let's see what I made. And she made a face, not only a face but like half a body, and she's like, wait, I recognize this face. Like, which face did I unintentionally make? And then she figures out that the face that she unintentionally made just out of the blue without really thinking about it is the guy that I talked about earlier that was on death row, that got the electrical share and has this legend about him that he disappeared. And I don't think I mentioned why he was on death row, but he killed a bunch of girls, a bunch of young girls in this neighborhood that they're in. So it's like a famous story, a famous case around here. So obviously she's freaked out. Why would she carve out his face? She's like, she thinks she has seen a picture of him once, like doesn't really know what he looks like until now. Like, and what's even more creepier is that the sculpture, like the hand of the sculpture, came back, like came to life and fucking almost strangled her. So obviously there's spooky things going on, and she was obviously scared to shit of that. But she never really told her husband or a kid, anyone. She just said to her husband that I need some time, and she actually left. Like, she said she's only gonna be gone for a day to just like clear her mind, but she's obviously feel like she's going crazy too. So creepy stuff. And then we have Ollie the kid, who's 15, and he's kind of struggling at his new school. He's being bullied. He has made like one new friend, but a lot of kids are mean to him. And one day when he's out biking in the middle of the road, these two bullies almost ran him over. And out of nowhere, like out from the woods, out of nowhere, this little bit older guy appears. Not old, but like older than 15, appears and saves Ollie. So they kind of become friends, but there's something going on with this guy. I don't really know what or how to explain it. Ollie obviously likes him because he saved him, but the father meets him and he's just like getting weird vibes. And then you had like a chapter with him doing some weird shit. So I think he's a bad guy. I don't think he's a good one. I think he's like pretending to become friends with Ollie and then just to do something bad to him. So I'm not liking that new friendship. It's just not right. Also, what I don't think I mentioned about Ollie, I don't know if that's going to be relevant to the story, but Ollie is something called an empath, or that's what they call it. He feels other people's pain very strongly, more strong like than any other person would feel. So for example, if Ollie is watching the news and they talk about people getting killed, like a school shooting, an earthquake, a tsunami, whatever, like I'm not saying people aren't touched by that, but Ollie is touched more than other people by that. He's touched very strongly for other people's pain, and he goes into therapy for it. So they kind of describe him as being a sponge, you know, that takes up everything. So he's obviously struggling with that, which kind of could make him an easy target as well. I don't know, but I don't know if that's going to be relevant for the story, but I don't think I mentioned that. It could be important. Yeah, so we have both the mom, dad, and the son experiencing some shit, and none of the others like know of each other's shit. You know, they keep it to themselves. So like as a reader, it's kind of fun because you have these three people experiencing three different stuff, and they are clueless to the other person's stuff, you know what I mean? So yeah, there's definitely something going on. Might be connected to the house, like the grandfather's passing, I don't know, but it's definitely so spooky. And I'm gonna try to read some more tonight before falling asleep. I definitely need to be in bed early because I work early in the morning, but I'm gonna take a shower, hop into bed, and try to read a little bit more at least, but we'll see. And another thing that I really love about this book that I don't think I mentioned, and if you know me and I watched my videos for a while, you know that I like this, and that is that the chapters are really short, because I cannot stand a book if the chapters are too long. I get bored. I almost get like panic when it's too long, because I'm a person, I can't quit mid-chapter. I will freak out and I won't remember what happened. Like, I need to stop after a chapter has finished. So it really helps out when the chapters are short. In this book, they're really short, so I really appreciate that. Okay, it is Wednesday, the next day, and it's around 6 o'clock. I've just worked all day, and then I got home, washed my hair, and napped, because tonight I'm going to the movie theater with a friend. So and afterwards we're gonna hang out. So I definitely needed that nap, and I just woke up from that nap and like have gotten ready, so I'm still pretty tired. This nap was like one of those naps where you wake up from even more tired, which was like not the plan, not the vibe, not good. But after listening to some music and getting ready, I feel better. So yeah, I'm soon gonna have to head out to meet up my friend. We're finally watching Where the Crawdads Sing. Like, oh my gosh, if you know me and if you watch my videos, you know that that was like my favorite book that I read last year. So I've been wanting to watch a movie ever since it came out, but I just haven't, and I was surprised to see that they were still showing it. So me and my friend are going, and I'm so excited. A little bit nervous. I have heard good reviews of the book, or like of the movie, but I'm not sure if it's gonna be as good as the book. But I'm really excited to finally see it, because the book was such a masterpiece. Also, like, I love going to the movies like on a regular weekday. So it's a Wednesday today. There's just something special about it, you know, when it's not the weekend. Just like a normal Wednesday, head to the movies. Like, it's one of my favorite things in the world. I love it. But before I head out, I wanted to update you guys on the book, because I read quite a bit last night before falling asleep. I got hooked, so I really read quite a lot. I have gotten up to page 205, and we have some crazy shit going on. First of all, I thought that was cool that we now have like an understanding of the title, The Book of Accidents, there's actually a book in this book that's called The Book of Accidents that we get to know, and we get to find out who, like, which one of these characters has that book and what kind of book is it. Like, it's pretty freaking interesting. We had Halloween night, like, which was very atmospheric and perfect to read this time. Like, I read it last night in bed, like, with candles lit, and they were describing like Halloween night, which is so cozy and creepy and perfect atmospheric. So we had at the house, like, the adults had, you know, we're in the living room drinking and talking, and then we had the kids who were in the garage, like, listening, talking to music. So we had like both of them, and then a storm came that Halloween night, which was so atmospheric again. And the dad of the family and his friend that was invited to this Halloween night, like at their workplace, they had to go out because like something had happened at their workplace because of the storm. So they were forced to go out in this weather, which is like dangerous, because it was like snowstorming and wind and like really bad weather. They were forced to like come into their office or whatever, and when they got there, they discovered that the window was broken and there was blood everywhere. And after a while, they found a girl in the corner, all naked and all traumatized and scared. And what's also even more freakier is that this girl had a number carved into her forehead, which this famous killer that I've talked about that's now died, that's supposed to be dead from death row, from the electric chair, he used to do that. Was like his thing. He used to carve his numbers like into the girls, like number 1, victim number 2. It was like his ritual thing. So of course they're like, what the fuck, like he's dead, he's obviously a copycat, you know, but it's still really freaky. And they're trying to help her, and she's like, he's out there, he's after me. She's obviously very traumatized, and something bad obviously happened to her because you could barely speak to her, and she could barely like speak to this guy that wanted to help her. And then they get outside to go, you know, they want to get her to the hospital, so they go out to their car, and there's lighting, there's storming, lighting hits the ground, and suddenly they see a man in the corner, and she's like, the girl, she's like, that's him, that's the man that wants to take me. And before Nate hits the ground, like the father of the family that wanted to help this girl, he gets struck by lightning. But the second before he passes out, he thinks he recognized that man. He thinks he recognized that man as this killer that's supposed to be dead on death row. Again, we have it all being connected to this killer being back. So I'm not sure if he's back as a ghost or if he's just didn't die and he's back. Like, I just don't understand. But we obviously have this killer. He obviously is back somehow and killing more girls and like carving a number into their forehead, which was obviously his thing, which is just really fucked up. We already do have the ghost element in the shape of Nathan, or Nate, who sees his dead father, you know, and we know that he passed as a reader, so you already have that ghost element, which is why I'm like, okay, this killer, is he also a ghost, or did he just not die? But it's weird because he got electrocuted in the electrical chair, so like he should have died. And you know, but I'm not sure if he's back as a ghost or if he's back as a real person. So, but we definitely have other ghost elements, so it might just be a ghost. But it's so fucking creepy and atmospheric, and I'm really excited to read more tonight, depending on how late I get home or whatever. But I'm off tomorrow, so I could read that as well. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I feel like it's the perfect time to pick it up. It's now like around fall, Halloween. It's really dark and really spooky, but like in a good way. I really like it. It's kind of reminding me a little bit of Stephen King. I don't know why. Like, just, I'm all here for it. I'm thoroughly enjoying this book. Okay, I am ready to head out to the movie theater. Very simple outfit. I just want to be comfy. That's all I care about. Now my cute little purse and a jacket on because it's quite chilly outside. So let's go watch Where the Crawdads Sing. I'm so excited. Okay, it is after midnight. I'm back home. We saw the movie. It went like started around 7 in the evening and went on for 2 hours, and then me and my friend went back here to my place, my apartment, and just talked and hung out, and it was such a good night. And my heart is just so full and so happy. And the movie was amazing. I was not disappointed. And this is like my favorite book of all time. So like one of my favorite book of all times that I've read. So obviously I had high expectations, you know? It was just so good. Like the acting, the setting, the music, everything was so perfect. And I just sat there and my heart was like so happy and so full the entire time. Like when it was over, I was just so happy, like my heart. And I almost like cried when the movie ended because like it was so beautiful, and it definitely made me want to reread the book. I actually only read it once and I loved it. Like it was my favorite book of all times, and I haven't read it since. I haven't picked it up since. Maybe because I'm like afraid that I won't like it as much, but obviously like I'm gonna love it. So I really wanted to pick it up again after seeing the movie because it's just such an amazing story, and I'm just like amazed. So if you like the book and you're hesitant about watching the movie, I would definitely recommend it. Like I was not disappointed. I would definitely recommend you go watch it. It's just truly amazing, and I cannot like talk enough about it. It's just wow. And I'm just like so glad that I also like watched it in the cinema, that I didn't like wait until it got on Netflix, because watching a movie on cinema like is so special, and especially if like the book means a lot to me, so the movie means a lot to me, and to watch it on the big screen was like truly beautiful, and it felt magical, and I'm just in love with the story. I fell in love again with the story, so I definitely want to reread the book and annotate and tab and like just like delve into the world even more, because I feel like I fell in love over again. Like I fell in love once again, which is just like magical. And if you haven't watched the movie, like even if you haven't read the book, I would watch the movie. My friend that I went with haven't read the book, and she explained that she felt just a little bit bored in the beginning because it's a long movie. It's like over 2 hours and it went a little bit slow. But for me, who has read the book, like I was so into it the entire time. But she explained that she felt a little bit bored in the beginning because like the story is kind of slow, but in a good way. So, but I would still recommend the movie if you haven't read the book, like because it's a great movie, but it has a special connection to me since I've loved the book. And it's so cool, guys. It's such a cool experience to I talk about this all the time. Like it's such a cool experience and a beautiful thing to watch one of your favorite books turn into a movie or a TV series, and it's done well. Like it can be done very poorly, but when it's done well and you get to experience that love, like, and you get to see the characters come to life for real, like it's something magical about that. And I'm so lucky that like one of my favorite books turned into a movie. Like it's such a special feeling that I cannot shut up about, and it's just something extraordinary. So my heart is happy, but it's over midnight. I'm gonna go take off my makeup and put on my PJs and maybe read a little bit in bed, but I'm pretty tired, so I think I'm gonna sleep pretty soon because I have to be up early tomorrow because me and my friend decided to have a study date. We've been talking about it for ages because she's in university full-time and I have my math course, which I'm behind on. Not proud of that. So we decided to meet up in a coffee shop tomorrow. We've been talking about it for ages and we're finally doing it, and I'm so happy about it because it's fun to get out of your house, out of your apartment to study, and like it's just, I think I need that because tomorrow was going to be a study day for me either ways because I really need to study because I'm so far behind. It's crazy. So I'm gonna head to bed and I will see you guys tomorrow. Good night. This is a very shitty angle, but I'm heading out for my little study date. And I'm very excited about it. It is a quite while later and I'm back home. Such a nice time with my friend. Study date at a cafe. It's just amazing, and we decided actually, because we talked about it, we decided we're gonna do it once a week. Hopefully if that works out. We decided on a day that works for both of us, that I'm always off on Tuesdays. I only have my math class, so we're gonna do it after my math class, and she usually doesn't have any classes on Tuesdays, so we decided to do this every Tuesday. I'm just so happy about it. There's just something, like, you have to romanticize your life a little bit, and especially like for school and studying, like it's gonna suck and it's gonna be difficult, but it's so much more fun to go out and like study with friends and, you know, buy a small little coffee to like for a reward. Like it's just simple things like that does so much. And just being with her, she's a full-time university student, she's doing such a great job. Like she motivates me to pass my math course, so it's just amazing, and I'm so lucky that I have her in my life. And yeah, but I didn't get everything done that I had to, and that's because I'm a very slow, like with math, I am suck at math, so it takes a long time for me and I'm still behind. I did like a few pages, but I still need to study some more, so I'm gonna sit down and actually study before I take the night off and just like read But if I do that now, like, I'm not gonna finish my math. So I really need to sit down and study some more. But I wanted to tell you guys that before I went home after the cafe, I went to my local bookstore that's just here. And I know I mentioned this before, but recently this bookstore have like gotten in English books. Not a lot, they have like a little space for that. And it just keeps getting better and better. So like, I'm usually never there. I always order online, or I go to like bigger cities to bookshop. I'm never here. But now I needed a Swedish book for my dad, who has his birthday next week. So I wanted to buy him one of my favorite books, but in Swedish. So I went there and I was like, I have to check the English shelves out, you know? And I was so fucking surprised. It just keeps getting better and better each time I'm there. And like, maybe it's like a few months in between where I'm there, and I live like 3 minutes away. But it just keeps getting better and better. I ended up buying 2 books. I could have bought more, definitely. They had so many, but I was like, no. I went in here for my dad, not myself, but I did buy 2 books for myself. But I did also buy for my dad The Institute by Stephen King, but in Swedish. He has read, I think he has read Pet Sematary like a long time ago in Swedish, and he's really good at English, so I think he would be able to read if I bought it in English, but I just wanted to make sure that he reads it, so I thought I should buy it in Swedish, because he usually reads in Swedish. And this is one of my favorite Stephen King books, so I really wanted to get this to him. He likes to read, so yeah, and it's perfect for this fall and autumn. And I don't really know how the translation is gonna be. I'm hoping it's good, like, you never know. I've only read the original version, so, but I'm hoping it's still good when it's translated. But yeah, I'm really excited, and hopefully he will read it and enjoy it, like, hopefully. And then I bought 2 books for myself. I was so surprised for both of these, because these are like books I've never seen there before and never expected to find there. First is Love on the Brain by Hazelwood. This is the same author that wrote The Love Hypothesis, which is one of my favorite romance books that I've ever read. And I'm pretty sure that this is very recently out. Like, it haven't been out for long, and like, I live in a really small city, so I don't really expect books like this to come in my local bookstore, like, never ever. But I just saw it and I grabbed it. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to read this. I adored The Love Hypothesis, so I'm really looking forward to this one. And then you all know Twisted Games by Huang. I read Twisted Love like a few weeks ago, and I loved it. I loved it so much more than I thought I would. They had the entire series there, and I was like, I should buy everyone, but I was like, no, let's just start out with the second one and then like buy more later. Like, don't go crazy, girl. All I really know about this one is that we don't follow the same main characters as the first one. I don't know anything about these main characters, just that there's 2 new ones, but I loved the first one, so I'm super excited to finally pick up the second book. But yeah, I am gonna sit down and study some more before I hop on the couch and read. Okay, it is quite a few days later. It's a Tuesday. I think I last updated you on Thursday, or I think you saw me on Friday when I cleaned my apartment, but it's now Tuesday, and it's just been a hectic week last week and weekend. Just, I worked all weekend and stuff, so just haven't really had the energy. But I wanted to tell you guys that today I sat down and finished the Book of Accidents by Wendig, and I was so surprised by this book in a good way. I expected like a pure horror slash thriller book, which we did have, you know, but I did not expect to have some really freaking cool fantasy elements in this, which we have. We have some magical fantasy elements in this, which was so freaking cool, but again, not too much of a crazy fantasy. Like, it's still thriller horror, so like, don't be scared by that. But we did have some elements in here which was really fucking cool, and I was just so surprised by it because I did not expect that to be in here. And I feel like it was just such an overall cool and creepy and good story. Like, it had a lot more than I expected, and you had different times, and you had so many eerie things I can't even explain. As we followed this family, you know, and I cannot recommend this enough. It is perfect for this time of year. Spooky season is coming, so if you have not picked this one up yet, I highly recommend it. I'm not sure if I'm gonna rate it a 4-star or a 5-star, probably 4. I don't know, but like, it was so good, and I highly recommend it. But yeah, I think I'm gonna end this reading vlog here because I think it's quite long already, and yeah, but thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in one of my next videos. Bye.